Hey guys, I'm Jennifer, and this is gonna be my first video. So usually, I do journal entries. Well, actually, I used to do journal entries on my phone, but I just stopped doing that for a bit. I kind of forgot why. I think it's because I got busy or something like that. But like I don't know. I would usually talk to myself and stuff like that. I don't know if that's normal. Maybe it's not normal, but I used to pretend it was a YouTube video or whatever. So I might as well just do a YouTube video and just kind of talk about topics that are on my mind or just whatever is going on at the moment. Um, yeah, the topic that's been on my mind right now is basically being dark skinned and my experience as a dark skinned woman. I think a lot of people tend to kind of glance over the topic and really don't talk about it. I think it is a really important thing to talk about. And, I've seen a pattern of when black women or dark skinned women come on the internet and they talk about their experience with colorism, racism, stuff like that. People tend to try to say that they're blowing it out of proportion, which I don't believe is true because these are things that actually happen. And I can always relate to these videos because I myself I've experienced it, and there are thousands or millions of other black women who have experienced the same thing. I do think colorism is a huge issue, and the fact that a lot of people don't want to talk about it and it's so normalized is definitely a problem. I have gotten so many colorist comments when I was younger. I don't get them as much anymore. I think the one that hurt me the most was I got a colorist. Should I even say colorist? Maybe it was racist because he wasn't black, but I got a comment from my ex boyfriend. Then this was in college, and we were sitting and it was dark, right? And there was light. There was what are those things called? The street light. But it was in the park area basically, and he was like, "Oh, I can barely see you." Why the hell would you say that? So that pissed me off so bad. I was like, "Damn, what the hell?" I thought me growing up and me seeing myself in an acceptable light, whatever, would change how people saw me, but you can't change something that's ingrained into other people. And I'm not here to change that. Broke up with him shortly after because there's absolutely no way I cannot ever see myself with someone like that ever again. And I hate that when I started dating and stuff like that, whether it was outside of my race or within my race, I kept having to ask myself the question of oh, does this person like black women and stuff like that? Because people constantly make black women the butt of their joke, or they only talk about black women in a positive light when they want views. And it's not everyone. It's not everyone. There are people who actually have good intentions and do like black women, but I feel as though if you have an attraction to black women, it's not something that needs to be announced and paraded, but go off. And then I think what also enables these people are the comment sections. Um, Black women are constantly looked down in society, whether it's from their own race or outside of their race, whatever. Um, so when there's someone else trying to put out this positive attention when we really is not positive attention at all, they just want views. They go out there and they make these videos and they're like, "Oh my god, I love black women so much," and then the comment section is flooded with black women believing that it's true. It's kind of sad. It really is sad. And I'm like, "Sister, it's a trap. Stand up, sister, it's a trap." Because I used to believe this same thing, and I feel like it comes from a place of not being accepted, or constantly having to feel like you're not equal. And I really can't describe it in words. I really cannot. I can, if someone displays that behavior, I can be like, "Oh yeah, that's it. This is exactly what I'm talking about." But being a black woman is very hard, and especially being a darker skinned black woman, I experienced colorism when I was only in elementary school, and racism shortly after. Like, there's really no escaping it. As a black person, there's really no escaping it. And this is not to like shit talk my community or just like to try to make it seem like being a black woman is terrible. I love being a black woman. I would not change that for the world. I love being a black woman. I've seen so many other beautiful black women, and it's so sad that society has to constantly try to like humble these women and try to make it seem like they're not beautiful or they're not up to par. Like, don't piss me off, bro. Do not piss me off. And I do think it's a issue that keeps bringing our community down because colorism and stuff is too normalized within our community. It's too normalized. I believe that there should be like conversations had that talks about these issues, but everyone is just too busy ignoring them and just like normalizing it to the point that even little kids think it's fine to be colorist to their own friends just because they have a darker skin color. Like, the people that were colorist to me in elementary school, I don't blame them. I blame their family. I blame the people who raised them because they're only doing what like the people around them have been doing. It's so normalized. Like, I come from an African family. The amount of Caro White users in the African community is crazy. And I think in their mind they think that they look light skin when they bleach their skin. But babe, we can tell. We can tell. Just look at those knuckles. We can tell. And self hatred is so normalized that people would do anything to not be dark skinned or to not be black. They'll do anything. And I've heard comments like, oh my god, like the skin tone just suits me. Like stuff like that. Like, and they're not talking about like dark skin tone, they're talking about like light skin tones. Like, they pick it out like it's clothes. They pick it out like it's clothes, and they'll risk having skin damage than being dark skinned. That's how bad it is. And like, I never want to grow up in an environment like that. And I know for sure if I have kids, my kids are going to be black as well. Like, because their mother is black. And I don't want to ever spread that type of self hatred or have my kids go through the stuff that I went through as a child or experience that. Of course, they're going to run into someone outside of our family that doesn't think the same way, but within my family, I would want it to be known like, oh, like being dark skinned is not a problem, being black is not a problem. Like, there's nothing wrong with these things. And I feel like people try to make it seem like it's something that should be looked down on, or like it's like it's a bad thing to be black. And I don't want to ever feel like that or think like that ever again, because I used to hate being dark skinned. I used to hate being not being black, but just my skin tone in general, my complexion. Now that I've gotten older, I get a lot more compliments. I like stuff like that. I would never have believed that if like when I was younger. And it's just sad how I saw myself when I was younger and how I treated myself is like just in general. I think the way I thought of myself kind of ended in 2019, 2020, and that is too recent because we're in 2025. So that was like around me being 14, 15, I believe. Um but I started to like love myself, um have standards for myself. St- Having standards is very important because I will not ever be with someone who cannot be respectful of me being a black woman or just being respectful to other black women as well. Like, I can't be your exceptional, like, I can't be your exceptional nigga. Like, I'm sorry. I can't. I can't be like, oh, but you're different. I can't do that. I can't, because I'm not different, babe. I'm not. I'm really not. But yeah, Fest is over. That's what I wanted to talk about. The video is only 9 minutes and 30 something seconds. It should have been longer, but I don't know how to edit. So this is all you're getting out of me. Thanks.